Chromium Picolinate. If you've been searching for that, you probably have diabetes or prediabetes, so you want to know, does it work for blood sugar? Well, I'll give you the answers in this video, as well as let you know about the dosage that you might need to take and the harmful side effects that could risk your life. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to the whole video. But here, let's see exactly how it works.
Opening the way!
Here comes the energy.
So the quick answer is yes, it does affect blood sugar, and it works exactly like it does in that cute little video. And yes, I've spent a lot of my life doing work as a security manager and security guard even, and I still like the kid stuff, so don't fault me for the cartoon. But hey, so here's exactly how it works. Insulin is trying to get all that sugar out of your bloodstream and into the cell. And sometimes the lock sort of gets stuck on the thing, and that's that GLUT4, that is that little receptor cell that it's talking about. Chromium comes along and it greases the lock so that insulin comes along, turns the key, and boom, that energy is flowing right in there. So all that sugar isn't in your bloodstream and it is back where it belongs in the cell, providing energy for you and that cell, of course. So that is exactly how it works. Yes, it does lower blood sugar. Yes, it does help with insulin sensitivity, but you want to take it in the right amounts. So here is a guide to the dosage that you'll need. Why you might need a supplement is that sometimes the body depletes it. So if you're doing a lot of heavy exercise, a lot of sweating, just like you're losing your electrolytes and have to replace those, you also can lose your micronutrients, and you can also lose minerals, all that kind of thing, just like this. So sometimes chromium will leave the body. If you're diabetic, type 2, and you're peeing a lot, then that can also deplenish or deplete the amount of chromium in your body. So you may need to get more. But the amounts that you're supposed to have is, if you're 19 to 50 and you're a man, about 35 micrograms a day. And then if you're a woman in that same age range, 25. And then if you're a man over 50, so 51 plus, then you need about 30 micrograms a day. Women, that same age range, 20. If you are pregnant or lactating, you're going to need a little bit more. If you are, no matter what your age range, as far as a woman, you need a little bit more. So basically, your body can deplete that amount because it's giving into the baby in those circumstances. If you are a man watching this, that probably doesn't apply to you. Hopefully it doesn't apply to you. And then, so you want those different ones. But again, if your body is depleting it, then you're going to need to add more than what you're bringing in or what you're letting go of. So you want to make sure that you are doing a little bit more than the normal if you are in any of those circumstances where it's depleting. And one thing that you can do is take a supplement. A lot of supplements are going to be in the 200 to 1,000 range. That's probably a little bit much, even if you are doing some of those things that might deplete you. So what my company recommends is about 148. That is what we have in our Gluca Ninja 7, which is 15 powerhouse ninjas fighting to keep your blood sugar normal. And you're welcome to get that from my store, allenfamilynutrition.com. If not, you can get any chromium supplement that you want anywhere, but just make sure that it's not super high, because the next thing that we're going to talk about is, what if you are taking too much, or if you start to overdose on it? What are some of the bad side effects? At higher doses, typically above 200 to 400 micrograms a day, for sensitive individuals, they may experience digestive distress, stomach upset, nausea, watery stool, or abdominal cramping. That's stomach, not Yeti. All right, neurological symptoms: headaches, insomnia, dizziness, or mood swings, irritability, skin reactions, rash, redness, or itchy. If you are experiencing any of these, you want to speak with a doctor. You want to speak with a medical professional. And also, you want to talk to a medical professional before you add chromium. And again, I recommend under 200, about 148, 178. I forget what my guys calculated, but that is optimal, what is in the Gluca Ninja 7. And you can take a look at that at my store if you're curious about the number, whether you get it from me or not. All right, so severe ones, if you're taking over 1,000, go up there, 1,000 to 1,200, or if you're taking more than that even. So kidney and liver damage. Chromium is filtered through the kidneys and processed by the liver. Extreme doses can cause chromium toxicity, leading to acute kidney injury, severe hepatic stress, or liver failure in some medical cases. You can also have a hypoglycemia, dangerously low blood sugar. You can have iron deficiency because chromium competes with iron for binding sites, and it can basically take or preempt the ability for iron to be absorbed. So you want to make sure that you have doctors checking your blood sugar level And while they're there, they can check your chromium levels, they can check your iron levels, make sure everything is working okay. In rare cases, there's been oxidative damage, and that is oxidative. Normally, chromium is safe to use, but occasionally with chromium picolinate, that can with your cell components and introduce oxidative DNA damage. So you've got to be careful about the amount that you're using. It can have bad interactions with diabetes medications like insulin, metformin, or what this is Ozempic, is I think what they're trying to get at here, and then ibuprofen and naproxen. Yeah, my assistant does give me some of these notes. So yeah, there is that. I don't know absolutely everything about everything, so that's why I use an assistant. So, ibuprofen and naproxen, they can be problematic sometimes because of the absorption in the body with accidentally spiking chromium levels and strain the kidneys. And then thyroid medication also. And then seek medical attention if you're overdosing on any of these things or you have any of these symptoms. Speak to uh, an actual doctor. That is going to be very important to you. I don't want to see any fatalities. I don't want to see anybody overdosing on chromium. What I do want to see is everybody getting healthy, getting strong. I want you to add years to your life and add life to your years.